Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder. I want to thank y'all so much to show up tonight. Um, got a very important topic we got to talk about. This is a self live, so there could be no links put out tonight. I just want y'all to sit back and relax and just listen to me and let's soak all this up together. And everything what I'm saying, it goes for me too. And we got to start from somewhere. Let me look at the link. Oh, let me look at the chat. Hey, Sheila E., thanks for coming. Go Professor, thanks for coming. Tom Malone, thanks for coming. Mr. Greed, brother Greasy J, thanks for coming. We're going to wait for some more people to get here, and in a few minutes, we're going to get it rolling. And I will be right back. Welcome back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing up. Let me get things situated here. Um, Again, welcome to my channel, Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna get this show on the road. We're gonna get about another, but maybe not about like another 2 more minutes. Then we gonna get this going. The title tonight is don't let your own hardships and being stubborn get in the way from being happy. I explain. Okay? And like I said, this is a self live tonight. No links is passing out. Yeah, y'all just sit back and relax and and let me talk and let me hear me out. And everything what I'm saying, it goes to me too. All right? All right. So I'm glad everybody is doing okay. And I'm very happy with that. I want you to go sub to Tone Malone, sub to Go Professor, sub to Sheila E, the Quiet Storm. She stays asleep. Amanda Gathers. The Roger Report, Angry Man, BG Ace, the Clemson Cure. Um, and the ones I left out, y'all know who you are. But also, just another sub to me. Yes, sub to me. Okay. Let me see what. Okay. Give a few more seconds here. Then we're going to get this show on the riddle. Rizzle. All right. Thank you again. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder. If you're new in the chat, please sub to me. That's my channel, Underrated Darkness. Hit the bell. Share this out. Very much appreciated. Do our social media. Hit the like button. It's very much appreciated. But before we continue, let me read this first. Then we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this show on the road. We're gonna get the show on the road. Come and join real conversations with the underrated one. Us as the righteous ones. Individually, let's make a change within ourselves and genuine be there for each other. We got. That is very important. We got. Better remember that. We got. Let me put this down so we can get this on the road. Okay. All right. LDBC. That stands for Lions Den Boxing Community. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The title tonight is Don't Let Your Own Hardships and Being Stubborn Get in the Way from Being Happy. Now, we find out outside social media and through social media that there's quite a few people had hardships. We all had hardships. We all a certain degree that we have to be stubborn, to do what's right. And sometimes we let stubborn get in the way from doing what's right. But at the same time, there are some that it's not building. They're not building within themselves, and they not building throughout. And at times you see some people that are successful, but they just stay in one level. And they said, "I'm just going to be here. I'm not going to put myself out there no more, and this and that." Yeah, yeah, you can say that, and it's true. You have a right to do that. But what about for me being happy? Are you letting your hardships and stubborn get in the way from being happy? And sometimes we could tell people what's going on, but what about ourselves? And everything what I'm saying tonight, it goes for me too. Just like I was watching a little bit of Fox Soul, and the same women that complaining about, Ice Cube, they got the nerve to talk about black men are failures. Yeah, they call us black men, we are failures and stuff. So it actually lets, now talking about some black women. So it actually let them know, hey, you not real happy. You go through hardships, and there are some people they go by certain hardships that sometimes they don't supposed to either. And sometimes you just want to point the finger, oh, I'm not gonna be around. But sometimes that we got to take the necessary steps to limit. And and also we see some black men say I hate black women, you know. And so what is they go through hardships of their own, and they let it get in the way, and sometimes you want to be happy, and these men ain't happy. Just like the women ain't happy, some women ain't happy, some men ain't happy either. Because they letting the hardships and the stubbornness get in the way from being happy. And when you're not happy, what do you think that a person that wants to be around you? And so we have to really, really be careful what's going on. Um, so tonight I want you to sit back, relax, and hear me out. And so, oh shoot, I forgot to do something. I'm sorry, family. hmm Got to do that. Okay, now we good. Okay, and also, we see people, and well, I would talk about myself. It was one time. It was it was this guy, and we was best of friends. This was I was very young, and he did a job to me. I mean, I thought we was like, I thought we was like, hey, you know, Captain Crunch with the milk. You know what I mean? And he did me wrong, and after that. I hold that. It was a hardship for me. I hold that into being stubborn for a long time. That I actually lost good friends. Sooner or later I end up gaining them back and everything, but it took a long time. And because I see every time I see somebody trying to get at me, oh no, 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 no. I'm coming at you. But really I was blocking my blessings. And I was protecting myself. See, sometimes we keep the wall up so high and so tight. There's no room of our own vulnerability to be helped. Let me say it again. That sometimes our walls could be so high and so tight that sometimes that our own vulnerability we don't get no help because we want to hold everything in. And that's what the stubbornness come for because I ain't gonna do it because hey, I'm guarded myself, but we have to understand that we making our own self miserable. We redo. We making our own selves miserable. D Hodges from the LDBC. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And we got to take a good look at that. And so go by. All right. And get what I'm saying. Um, I was lonely. I was lonely. Of certain parts, I shouldn't have been lonely. But I was guarding myself, and I was pushing people away. And so sometimes that while we getting older and while we become adults, grown-ups, sometimes that we playing catch up. Instead of understand that we want to be happy, sometimes everybody is not bad. Sometimes there are some people who want the best of your interests. You know? And I think that while we see that, oh reliable, Vernon King, salute to you, brother. Thanks for coming. Oh reliable, salute to you too. And we become this stale bread, so stubborn that that's all we want to be. Instead of be fresh, be full of energy, be full of learning, full of progress. And that's when we start to grow. Is it going to be a question mark or back? Thinking yes, because you got to screen people out. But I know for me that I had quite a few people had hurt me in my lifetime, and it's a cruel world out there. You know, especially us as a people. We should know better. And we still got people out there just want to play games. They're trying to hurt, and we see other associations around it. But it doesn't mean that you have to be part of it. You know, the one and only She Stay Sleep. Salute to you, brother. I want you to go. I want you to go sub to the brother. She Stay Sleep. Thank you so much, as always. That's my day one right there, family right there. And that's why we see these behaviors, because they have not learned to grow up. Because in their own way, they got hurt and they got played. So they figure like this: I'm gonna hide it, and I'm gonna play on you. Nah, you don't. And that's the thing that we have to understand too. The deal with harshness and deal with stubbornness, you don't have the right to put it on the next person, because that next person gonna come at you in a certain way to be checked. And so you have to accept that, because you're not willing to be vulnerable, like I said about 10 minutes ago, to be vulnerable, also to help yourself, and also hopefully help others. You cannot be a castle around of nothing. You just cannot just walk around the castle. Oh yeah, oh I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. But you're afraid to come outside the castle to get some fresh air. And when you get that fresh air, it's progress. You get some fresh air to be a changed person, to be a better person. And that is the problem that some of us as a people we are. We don't want to change. We want to hold on with the hardships and the stubbornness. We actually see, especially in the brotherhood, with the older brothers, with the older brothers and the younger brothers. Why do you think that the younger brothers is just resentful of the older brothers? Because you don't want to change. You don't want to tell them about your hardships. You don't want to tell them you stubborn and you don't want to change. So that means they have to go. They have to deal with it with themselves. They have to deal with their own harshness and stubbornness. And we got to make it easy for them. But we don't. Some of us we don't want to do that. So what I'm saying is this: that resentment is going to build. And when I told, and then also I'm gonna get back to my point. And then it's so funny. I'm gonna tell you how good that when I was with the channel Go Professor. I want you to support the brother. I want you to sub to him too. And we was talking about health, and we was like talking about different. And do you know that everything that I'm saying so far, thank you, I appreciate that, Go Professor. I appreciate that. That everything that I'm saying, the hardships and the stubbornness, it's gonna mess with your health. It's gonna mess with your health. It's going to bring you down. It's going to give you headaches. It's going to give you chest pains. It's going to be, you're going to be always attacking. You don't get no sleep. You don't do nothing. But if you're willing to let all that go, slowly, you see things clearly. And you deal with your hardships and you deal with your hardships much better. And the things that you stubborn about, you tend to look at it as you think, oh wow, holding on to this. And it brings you down. Now, now, I'm not talking about constructive stubborn. That's not what I'm talking about. Constructive stubborn for progress for you within yourself to others, you have to have that. So I'm not talking about constructive stubbornness. All right. So I want to put that out there. But as well, I'm just saying that you can actually see in your family, you can actually see what's going on especially in this politic world. You actually see it throughout social media, especially on YouTube. And you see they make the same mistakes. They stubborn. They want to hold things. They want to hold things to themselves. And so and let's be honest here. They not happy. They are not happy. You know, they not happy. So the thing is, you have to let it out because, especially us as black people, we got to deal with enough already. you know, we got to deal with enough already. So we have to take time to learn what's going on within yourself and deal with it. I give you case in point. I was going to like cook some burgers. All right. So what I did, I ordered some out for me, before I do this. I didn't think about the hardships and I wasn't feeling good, look at things around. Nah, 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 nah. I see for what it is. Then I could have been stubborn. I could have cooked and stuff like that. But see, what happened, I would not be into it cooking. So I would have let my stubbornness get the best of me to make things easy. I could just order a little something, something, put something in my stomach, and at the same time, I could be on time and talk to y'all. So don't have to worry about that hardship that did the cook because I didn't feel up to cooking. And at the same time I didn't I wasn't stubborn. I see it for what it is. Let me eat out and kind of find out it turned out great. And that's when and this is when I'm coming from too. We gotta learn to use what our first mind tell us to do too. We can never secondary our own first thing that comes to our mind that we wants to do. And that is the problem too, that sometimes we go through these hardships too, because sometimes we don't do what our first mind tell us to do. That has the bigger picture. We always want to fall back. Oh, my brother, WDN, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. And we always fall back on the secondary mindset, and that is really, if you think about it, that's like short term. And if you already know, short term do not get you nowhere in life. Short term get you a progress a little, but it doesn't put you in the right frame of mind to be. This is the bigger picture. And so when we do short term, that also means that we bring in hardships and bring stubborn to ourselves, right? And so we have to we have to really limit and to understand that dealing with health again, We got to think about our health, and at the same time, we got to think about our eternal journey. As you know, that I always say, sometimes I bring it up like months ago, but it ties in what I'm saying, that we got to think about our journey, because when we go through our journey, yeah, we there are peaks and falls that we gotta go through and everything. But we want to limit that. We want to deal what's in front of us, and that's very important. Make sure we have a clear mind. Make sure we whatever we do, we be clear in action, and that's very important. And also, and then everything what I'm saying, it goes for me too. And so when you see like and I bring this, and I want to talk about this too. And I know there are some people don't like talk about old stuff, but I'm gonna bring it up. Look at how our people were we were slaves. Now there are some people say, "Oh, they deal with that. I wouldn't go through it and everything." But as for them, of the hardships, and they had to overcome, they had to involve, they had to deal with the hardships. We have to deal with that. There are certain that there are another race of people think that we nothing, and we always have to evolve our mind, evolve our actions. Even we dealt with the enormous genocide. Even right now, but I'm gonna take it back. But we endure it, right? We are resilient people, right? But not anybody in this world cannot overcome what we did, and we still here. And hold on, fam, hold on. I think I see something. So, okay, I'll check that out later. Okay. I'll get back what I'm saying. See, but we came from a long way, right? Because you know why? Because we dealt with hardships. Just see for what it is. And there are some had to be, like I remember I told, constructive stubbornness. That comes in the picture too. And there are some that is not willing to do the right thing, and sometimes they got dealt with, but we still here. And I learned that every time I go through that, I think with the hardships. And all right, go professor. All right. and and I think about that, and even like um us as a people, and what we have to overcome. Dealing with a country that they still think three-fifths of a citizen. You know, and we still fighting. We still have to fight for our own rights, and we still got some along the way. They just in the way. And I'm talking about some of us as a people, because they fail to understand that when you put your hardships with somebody else, you're making it hard for the next person. So that's why when we have to cast them out, we have to cast them out, because we don't want to deal with their hardships. I mean, we try to help them, but if they're not willing to see it for themselves, that's on them. Okay. I do have a Cash App. It's Cash App dollar. It's dollar sign capital JT 53000. Also, I have a PayPal account. It's all in caps. JT Black 53. All right. So when we go through this, right, and they pass certain things, what's going on. And but if you notice, the ones that we see as successful, if you notice why they so successful, because they just deal with hardships. What they did was in front of them. They not taking on any other. hardships from somebody else, or certain hardships that they had earlier, they stayed the course. They stayed the course because they know there's a benefit. There's a benefit comes with it. See, this is what I'm saying. There's a benefit when we be make sure that we lease and deal with our hardships in a way that we could deal with it, but at the same time we can grow. And that's very important. That's very important. Deal what's front of you first, and then you'll be okay. Don't never let your stubborn get in the way. Do not let hurtful feelings linger. Do not let anything get in the way. I ain't gonna do it. And there's certain things that you want to try out that is new. Don't say I ain't gonna try that out. Cause take a chance. You never know that Cause when you take that chance, you never know why you taking that chance. I'm saying like this. It can make the hardship what you deal with it lighter. You know, and that is sometimes that's sometimes that's what we fail to understand it too. Sometimes we forget it goes hand in hand. Less stubborn, lighten up the hardships that you in that of that moment, and at the same time you grow. And so so people say, on the radio, I'm trying and everything, but it seems like I ain't getting nothing right. And it said like that. Well, something. So at the same time, that's when you have to switch it up, as I do of certain parts of my life. I had to switch it up, you know, and it was hard, but I had to see it through because the way I deal with certain hardships and being me being stubborn, that wasn't helping me. It was keep on pushing me back and everything. I was not seeing myself in the light of progress. And so I have to change up. See, that's the thing about that we have to understand too. We have to change it up at times within ourselves. And we have to be a very strong, critical, stubborn critic within ourselves. Let me say it again. We have to be willing, constructive, stubborn critic within ourselves. When we do that, also we be lighten the hardships and we be less stubborn, and at the same time we gonna see the light. The rocks is not gonna be on our back no more. It's not gonna be all heavy on our back and be pulling us. It's not gonna be like we on a standstill. Rocks is gonna get lighter, lighter, lighter. It's gonna come off our back, and then we could walk freely, and then we could deal with certain things right now. So we gotta switch it up sometimes, but we have to know when to switch it up. And that's very important. Um, Please like and subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Sub and share it out. So so when we push on here, we gotta understand we're gonna meet up with people that they are damaged. And sometimes it's not their fault, but they are damaged. So what you do, you be a here and there. Like I said, have that authentic listening, and sometimes you just gotta be quiet. You just gotta shut your trap. Thank you, Mr. Greasy. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And so when you do that, we gotta listen thoroughly and and to understand Their journey was hard, but it doesn't mean that we have to take on that too if they not willing to be happy. See, when you have some people be saying, "Listen, when I get myself together, I'm gonna start cutting off people." Now, constructively, if you cut off people that holding you back, yes, I agree. That's constructively. Not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones just come out and say, I'm gonna cut off people. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna cut off people. I ain't wanna deal with nobody, and I can't deal with this. And man, and because I used to say that myself. So it's just so this is the thing I ask myself that hey, the number one grinder, do you want to be happy? Do you willing to take the necessary steps to be healthy, to be happy, to enjoy the abundance when God going to send you? Huh? And when God send it to you, are you gonna be ready to receive it? Cause see, when you're willing to make this change, family, we have to understand it's not just gonna be a few. Excuse me, a few real ones gonna be around you. We have to understand that it's gonna be a few real ones gonna be around you, and that's the way life is. No, again, don't let your own hardships and being stubborn get in the way from being happy. Yeah, can't let that happen, family. You got to keep on growing. You got to keep on growing, and you have to understand that in life it pits and falls. We got to understand that also hardships, it could be bigger or it could be small. And also individually, we have to understand that sometimes being too critical, stubborn, could get in the way. You just got to be balanced. And everything that I'm saying so far, it comes from me too. I have to de- I have to deal with it too. I have to understand that the steps that I took in the past was not good. But at the same time, it's always I could always keep on keep on moving in the right direction. So that means you gotta have a sound mind. That means you always gotta be positive, and you always have to sometimes to just some days, it's not going to be there. Deal with the hardships. And you have to understand that if people did not get a chance to wake up to deal with their hardships, we got to think about that too. And so we have to push on. And also, we have to understand there are some that sometimes that we truly love or have respect for them, and they are good people in their own way. They not willing to change, and little by little they're gonna be rotting away. And what I'm saying is this because I have to do this myself. Sometimes you gotta distance yourself from them. Go add on somebody else. Like I said this at the beginning of the live. Add on, you take on somebody else hardships. What that makes you. And it's not right. Also take on their own stubbornness. You know, as you being a person that has character, that cares, and knowing that what you've been through and that stuff like that, you trying to help the person. It's just that some that is not willing to be helped at that time, who do not want to be helped. So they figure what they dealing with it right now, and they figure, oh yeah, this helped me in the long run. But they have to. But the one thing they have to understand, if you're not willing to change, everything gonna come into crash. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care. You live. You think you're happy or people around you. If you're not happy within yourself, what's the use? So I'm just gonna be here a few more minutes because I know y'all got things to do, and I don't want to um keep you up. And thank you on Go Professor for the donation, and Mr. Greasy J. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate. Please get them likes up. Please get them likes up. Please hit the like button and share. Hit the like button and share. Hit the like button and share, please. Anybody in the chat that is new, please sub to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Make sure the bell is lit so when I come on, when I come in for the powerful live stream, come from live stream or video, y'all will get it first. And again, the title is Don't Let Your Own Hardships, Being Stubborn, Get in the Way from Being Happy. And like I said, I'm just gonna be here a few more minutes. And when you take that on, it's in instead of get yourself together. I appreciate that, brother CER. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Hold on for a second, please. I'm back. Like I said, when you start taking on, they hardships, right? Then they start not caring how you feel, and sometimes that means your well being is being suffered because you figure this person is good. You figure this person he or she is a good person. They just maybe they things they got bad breaks and stuff. It happens. You know, and the ones that who have bad breaks and they suffering and they trying to get help and so I'm not talking about those people. No, I'm not talking about them. But I'm talking about the ones that knows. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it's not fair to put your hardships and your stubbornness to somebody else that you know in their own way they dealing with their own. It's not fair because in the long run you have to figure it out yourself. And I feel us as a black man, I feel that's our problem too. We do not rely on each other or as brothers to talk things out. Also, that could be a problem too. That could be a problem too. And sometimes we end up dying with like Go Professor said on his live this morning. We start dying of a broken heart because we hold things in. Knowing that you have to deal within yourself, you gotta talk it out. Because sometimes you could learn from others, not how they do it, but they can give you some counsel, some inspiration in your own way. You start dealing with those hardships, and and you don't have to worry about being so stubborn that you cannot see your way out. Okay, so let's understand too. We have to we have to do that too. So so tonight is very important to understand. And also, the one thing, so I'm gonna say a few more things and I'll be finished. Yo. And understand this too. You cannot take two or three different hardships at one time, family, within yourself. You gotta take one at a time. Because also that makes you sick too. And excuse me. And also the stubbornness too. Oh, that be immense, baby immensely so tight and you be miserable, irritable, all that. That'd be impossible to get it fixed. It could be fixed, but it'd be impossible because we take everything on in one time. You know, like I live in Virginia. There are some people have lost their houses that they paid for a long time. There are people who have to take out their 401k plan in the in a trust fund, even for they had the kids to go to college to make it to make it another day. Those are hardships. And sometimes some of those hardships that sometimes there are some spouses has walk away. They don't want to deal with it. Cause see, sometimes there are some hardships that compound one after another. That's what I said about 5 minutes ago. You gotta learn to take on, yes, but let's learn to deal with it one at a time. Not saying it's gonna go away, but just deal with it. Make it lighter so you can deal with it. Keep the stubbornness down. Oh, say it again. I'm saying that wherever deal with wherever hardships they're in right now, and wherever you deal with it, accept for what it is, and keep the stubbornness down. Because when you keep down the stubbornness, you don't have nothing to worry about that. Because we don't want to run into a brick wall either. And I think that's the problem too. Because like I said, and I'm gonna keep on saying, everything what I'm saying tonight, trust and believe I have to learn it myself. But I feel that I want to share it with y'all. Because I know y'all going through hardships right now, right this minute. And I'm just letting you know that I'm glad y'all took the time and hear the number one grinder out. I really appreciate with you showing up. It's very much appreciated. And I don't take y'all for granted because you know why? Because I am not think about the hardships that I'm going through right now. I'm limiting myself of the hardships. Because see, when you limit your hardships and you keep the toxic stubbornness down, your mind is clear, your whole body's manifest through 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 righteousness and everything, then you can share with others. And also you attract great people. Just as in the chat, are surrounded by great people because I'm putting it out there and y'all receiving it. And also, you know, hold on, fam. And also, you be happier too. Because also, when you go through hardships too, it's not about yourself either. No. And I feel that is very important. That's why the ones that know me in these YouTube streets for a minute now, they know what I did before, they even I'm growing right now. I always give myself. And maybe there are some people that's not trying to hear me. That's their problem, not mine. No. So Mike 202. Oh, thanks for coming, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, brother. Salute to you, brother. And so when we do that, we don't care what the devil throw us because we got put God. We the ones who believe in God. We have God on our side, and also He gave us a direction to learn how to deal with the hardships and deal with the things in the world, and also at the same time make sure that our stubbornness is constructive for the better, for the better, for the better. Oh, what's going on, 12 hours? How you doing? Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Hope that you sub to the brother. Hope you sub to the brother. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. And and that's what it's all about. No? Also learn that you wake up and see another day, you winning. That means that you want to deal with the hardships. You don't know how your day gonna unfold, but you woke up and see it, right? So never take anything for granted that deals with your life. Never take for granted for God's creation. Never take granted for yourself or your health. Never take advantage that God had put great people around you. Maybe the masses don't know, but long as you know, that's what counts. Because those are the ones gonna help aid you to be a better person. And then also, in their own way, they're helping you deal with the hardships too. And don't be a bullheaded either. Constructive stubborn for what's right. And I know in my life that is very important to me. But I'm saying don't get it twisted. You're trying to play the number one grinder. I'm going to give you that work. But see, when I give you that work, I'm letting you know I'm not dealing with your toxic hardships. I'm not dealing with your toxic attitude, your toxic stubbornness. No, I'm not. So I'm going to put that away and keep it moving. And I'm saying, family, you have to do that sometimes. Your family, your friends, you have to do that. Amanda Gathers, thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. See, you will know who the real ones is. And let me read the topic that I created. Don't let your own hardships and being stubborn get in the way from being happy. I explain. And that's what we talk about tonight. So the ones that came in late, you have to catch it on the rewind. But it's all right. I'm gonna stay a few more minutes, and I'm gonna so y'all can do what you have to do. And when we do that, we also helping others because you got some, from the clouds they looking in. And how you deal with the hardship? How you do, I do this thing. Go ahead. I'm trying this stuff. And so you got to be ready to help too. The right person though, constructive thinking go right along what I'm talking about. Because when you have constructive thinking, you deal with your hardships better. You limit the toxic stubbornness down. And that's when you build up constructive stubborn too. I forgot to bring that up, and I'm glad I remember because I want to bring that up. And that is very important. So that means you got to be around people that have the same mindset. They might do things differently, yes, but have the same mindset that care for your well being. Excuse me, genuinely care for your well being. And especially they know that you deal with certain hardships, you know, at the same time that is similar. Embrace that. I give you case in point. Amanda suffered loss last year. I'm not going to bring it up. When that happened, before then, she was on a live with me. At the time, I was in New York. I believe a few days or a week later, my mom's passed. When I came back a few days after that, because I was up there for 2 weeks. So I left there. I did a live, I'll never forget, August 29th, because she passed away August 28th of last year. And guess who was right there in the chat? Amanda Gathers. Because we understand each other hardships. In our own way, we had to deal with it individually, but we was there for each other. No? Hold on, fam. I just want. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And hold on. Let me get this out the way. So, see, okay, I'm good. Okay. So when I left that night, I was in this mini bus. It's hard for me, fam. So work with me here. I understand that I don't have my mother no more. Now anybody that suffer a loss and stuff, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't wish this of anybody. But it seems that when I was on that bus, that mini bus, it's like the further I left from New York, it seems like my soul was ripped apart. I never forget it was a certain feeling, certain hardships that it was in my chest. I cried, I teared up. I wanted to pass and how I deal with it when I got back to Virginia. And even I was dealing with some personal things too that last for a minute. But it's over now. And I got off the bus and it was a city, but he didn't want to stop. And but I said to myself, maybe it wasn't meant for me to take that bus. So I waited for a cab and I came back home and though took a shower and I did the plasma thing and that didn't work out and I said it didn't work out. Didn't work out at all. Didn't work out at all. But it was cause it was compounded hardships I had to deal with. And I ain't gonna lie, at a time I was very stubborn. Then I had to I had to say to pray to God because at that moment I ain't want trying to pray to Jehovah. I didn't want to, but I had to. And I prayed to Jehovah and told to just help me. And when I did the live stream at the library, it was I broke down. And there was some people said, "Why don't you just end it?" And I said, "No, I couldn't end it because I knew it has to be somebody had known what was going through." And by seeing Amanda, she said, "Bro, you all right?" And I never forget, she called me, and cause she have a loss one, I'm not gonna tell y'all what she lost because ain't none of nobody's business, but I know. But and I said I lost my mama. I'm sorry, y'all. And that's a hardship that my family had to go through. And then October the 8th, less than a month after that, I lost my younger brother. Now understand this. Me, our family had to we was at the elementary part really dealing with my mother. Our mother. And then so that is another hardship I have to go. So I have to go back to New York. No, pardon me. No, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me switch that. No, no. When I first went to my mom's, I rode with my brother. That's what I'm doing. My brother took me back. I'm sorry. So of that what happened? He dropped me off and stuff like that. Okay, that was my mom's. But my brother, I had to go back. Man, I had to leave. I left that night. But anyway, dealing with that, Those hardships I had to deal with personally, it was enormous. I don't know how you got through the day or the night. It was at times I couldn't sleep, you know. I didn't sleep at night, but and I feel that when you deal with hardships, you believe in God. That's when you gotta rely on God. That's when you gotta have selective people around you. Not saying that it's gonna take the harshness away, but to limit the blow. And at this part of my life, each time it gets a little better to deal with the losses of my late mother and my late younger brother. See, we have to understand we got to deal with these hardships maturely and thoughtfully. Maturely and thoughtfully. That is very important. That's how we understand that the progress is going to get better. And I know it's a cruel thing to say because somebody told me their own way. I didn't want to hear it last year, but it's true. Because also 11 years ago, I lost my son JT by the X. I mean, not by the X. He died in her stomach, and she's no longer here. I lost her. I found out May 4th she passed away. That's May 4th, and before then, this year the ones that know Muhammad's the one. I lost him, and the ones that know Muhammad's the one we lost him. So I have to deal with that personally myself. And those are hardships. I had to go through it. But see, the hardships that I was going through, my late mother and my late brother, it helped me prepare to deal with those two hardships, the two losses of my life too, of this year. And again, it was not easy. August. Oh yeah, and I forgot after my mother passed, my cousin, my cousin-in-law, his father passed. I forgot about that. So we had to deal with that. So that's August. Then speed it up the next this year. Muhammad's the one passed away April 22nd. Few weeks later, the ex passed. See, the point that I'm making is this that you have to be constant in prayer. And also you have to understand you got to make sure your health is intact. And also you got to have somebody that you're willing to talk to. Because you have to understand there are some times that there are some hardships you cannot deal with alone. Yeah, you gotta deal with it alone, but there are sometimes it gets so hard that you gotta talk to somebody. That's why people go crazy sometimes because they don't have nobody to talk to, or they refuse to talk to anybody because they feel they could deal with certain things by themselves. Yeah, you gotta deal with it by yourself too, but at the same time, you gotta ask for help, and you gotta be willing to accept the help. And that's why you got people that hurting other people. Shoot, they hurt me, so I'm gonna help the next person. Oh no, you're not. That's not being stable within yourself. You hurting yourself and you hurting the loved ones that you push away. And see, dealing with your own hardships, it just came to my mind. You gotta be your own messenger for yourself. Let me repeat it again. You gotta be your own messenger for yourself. Thank you, 12 Vibes. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. And you keep on coming back now. Don't be a stranger. You around good people here. It's not a lot of us here, but you around good people. So you come around here. We gonna I'm gonna get my grind on, and I'm gonna start having my little fun, and I want you to be part of that. Okay, I want you to keep on coming back. Not every time you come back, I understand, but I want you to keep on coming. But the thing about this so true that for me, be raised in the inner city, Brooklyn, New York, it helps you prepare hardships. It helps you to sharpen being a warrior. Now you'll notice Amanda and the Gold Professor and Mr. Greasy, WNWWDU and others. She Stay Sleep, D Hodges, Sheila E. They always say warrior. I am a warrior. I am a warrior. I back it up. There's no ifs and buts about it. And I did talk about on my live like a few months ago, talking about us as black men. You don't put to be a warrior, but I'm going to extend it to all of us. All of us need to put on that warrior armor, and we gotta chisel that in our body, and to make sure that whatever hardship that the devil had put upon us, we will know how to deal with it with God's help. We have to be willing to walk in. When I said to walk in righteousness, that means you got to walk in the storm. Because when you walk in righteousness, it's not being all that good all the time. You got to walk in that life storm that I said last year. You got to be willing to be in it, and you got to willing yourself to see yourself out of it. But you gotta have constant prayer. You gotta be around people that are willing to help you constructively. And sometimes the tone might be, but take it. Everything what I'm saying to you, the number one grinder, I know what I'm talking about. I suffer losses in the past. I suffer a whole lot of people, and I'm talking about our people, had took advantage of me in the past. And I had to deal with those hardships in the past. But being a warrior as I am, and I know you are, at least when I suffered the losses of my late mother and my late younger brother, I went to the PJ. See, I could go peacefully in the PJs. And it was this one guy, I looked at him, he looked at me, and he turned his head. Cause he know what he did to me in the past. Cause I'm a warrior. I'm a righteous warrior that I'm willing to deal with the hardships. Because, see, we have to understand this too, that when people do dirt to us in the past, we don't have to take on their hardships. You let God take care of them. And you keep on smiling. You keep on smiling because you're here. Because dealing with these hardships, one way or the other, we're gonna get over it and you're gonna be happy. And trust and believe when you stick to the process, you put God first in your life. I'm telling y'all, man, it's gonna be greater bondage coming to you. But it's not gonna come when you want to, but it's gonna come. So keep on, put on that warrior suit, embrace it. Nobody have to tell you you're a warrior. No, you know yourself you're a warrior. No, long as God knows you're a warrior and you know yourself is a warrior, it's enough. Others know your grind. That's all you need. That's all you need. And that's why I said it again, the title that I created. Don't let your own hardships and being stubborn get in the way from being happy. Nah, don't let them. You deserve to be happy, y'all. No, I deserve to be happy. Y'all deserve to be happy because you know why? Because God made you part of God's creation and you deserve to be happy. You deserve to get all the positive abundance that you deserve to have. But you got to put yourself in that space. And being in that space is hard. Trust me. The number one grinder will not steer you wrong. But do it. Do it. I urge y'all. Do it. I love y'all. Y'all deserve to be happy. I love y'all. I really do. I love y'all, man. Thanks a lot to take the time to welcome me back. Thanks to take the time, like Go Professor, to come to tell me to get on the panel, and the other ones get on the panel. Okay. And I want to thank everybody else in this chat. Thank y'all to take the time to come be there with me. And I don't take y'all for granted. And I hope what I'm saying through God's divine spiritual purpose that I can help y'all. First, and I got to be a messenger within myself. But also, I have to be a messenger for our people and throughout humanity. Again, my Cash App is $ capital JT 53000, and I have a PayPal, all in caps, JT Black 53. So I want to thank y'all. And MLR, thank you for the Cash App. I really appreciate that. And the one and Go Professor and Mr. Greasy, thank you. Oh, Miss Rada. Thank you. Thanks for showing up. He caught it on the end. So wherever it finished loading up, gotta catch it. But I want to thank y'all. But I'm glad you came, Miss Rada. I appreciate it. On 12L, thank you so much for coming. Wow, your mother passed 2014. Yeah, you know. You know, I explained to you that, you know. And also, let me say this one thing, too. Oh, you been here listening? Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you come back soon, too. And to understand this, too, when you hear others, sometimes in God owns way and help you lighten up the hardships and the stubbornness too. Remember that. On behalf of my channel, the underrated darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one. The number one grinder. Now I appreciate each and every one of y'all take the time. And the ones that come in the chat, please subscribe to the underrated one. Please subscribe to me. And make sure you put a comment of one of my videos or my live streams. I will definitely hit you back. I make sure that I sub right back to you. I promise that. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. And just remember, don't let your own hardships being stubborn get in the way from being happy. Nah, deserve better. Remember that. So on this one, oh, I forgot. I almost slipped. And before I leave, anybody that is traveling right now to your destination or in the house, let me know right now. And brother CER, appreciate you too. Like I said, O Reliable too, Vernon King too, D Hodges too. Appreciate y'all too. Sheila E too. Again, anybody that is traveling right now, safe to your destination, on your way home, let me know now in the chat. If not, I will close it out for the night. Are you home? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. That's all I want to know. That's what I do. So on that note, doggone it. Okay. I want to thank y'all. Be encouraged. Have a good night. This one is Ghost.